Hi, welcome to Impact Effectively. This is season 2, which I have entitled Impacts Around the World. If you've not been watching or listening to earlier podcasts, my name is Florence Madden. I'm an NLP trainer and coach based in Cumbria in the north of England. I am the author of a book called The Intention Impact Conundrum and the co-author of a book called Everyday NLP. In this second season of podcasts, I'm speaking to friends around the world who are making an impact in their own way, using NLP and other complementary approaches. I am thrilled in this 5th episode to welcome my friend Anniina from Helsinki, who is a business coach, a co-thinker, and very much more besides. And her business is Tato Training, which I possibly have not pronounced correctly, but I'm going to invite Anniina to introduce herself and she can correct that pronunciation right now. Anniina, over to you.
Thank you so much, Florence. And I'm so happy to be here and have this discussion with you. And these topics are so important because each one of us, we are making huge impact actually all the time. And just by being more aware of it, we can make it even bigger. And that's the reason why I feel that these topics are so important to discuss with you. And that you're having these discussions with others as well. So I am Anniina Hukari, and your pronunciation was just great. And I'm really, what I'm doing a lot is kind of just giving people to a space where to be in silence and think. Because in this working life, we are always in hurry, aren't we? We don't pause. We are just doing things, and we don't have time to pause and think. What are we actually thinking? What we are doing? What is driving us? And what is our passion? What is calling me? And my roles in business are I'm working as a business coach, as a trainer, and as a facilitator. And to make even bigger impact, I'm also training others to work in these very important roles successfully.
So I love that word passion and helping people to find their passion. So I'm going to just challenge you with the question. So what's so important about somebody finding their passion?
I think that we all have had these moments where you are kind of having these good vibes when you are doing something, and you can feel the energy flowing, and it can be about what you are doing or about the people with whom you are working. And when it just goes somewhere, it disappears, and we don't even know how to reach it again. But we can do that. We can find our passion. And the passion is is it a crossroad where you have your mind, your body, and your heart connected. And when you find your passion, you will be also able to find your strengths and really to realize what is your potential, what you are able to do. And quite often it is much more than we can actually believe, if you ask me right now.
Okay, so I guess you're talking there about what that means to an individual and for perhaps them rediscovering something that maybe they've lost for whatever reason along the way. And I really get how important that is for an individual to live, I suppose, living a good life and good in the sense of something that is fulfilling and I suppose wanting to get in, do whatever you're going to do and to put your energy into it. What I'm also interested to know is what the effect that has, or the knock-on effect that has then within the business. The benefit to the individual is very clear, but I guess you work with and for a lot of businesses to help people find their passion. So what material difference does that make in the businesses that people are working in when they find their passion?
the difference is actually huge. Because if we are talking about success and well-being, we can't actually have one without other. Or we can have, but very short time. If we want to success in the long run, it starts from well-being. And you are being well when you have find your own passion and you can really use your own potential. And when you are with people who are doing the same, and we know from theory that if you want to succeed, you need to be in the successful environment. So we are really uplifting each other all the time. So we are kind of multiplying the passion, we are multiplying the energy, and it just feels good. And the difference in business, if you're talking about results, we can even talk about money. It's amazing. It's amazing. So you're really getting better results. And at the same time, your people in your business or in your community or whatsoever, they are being well. We are healthy. We are flourishing. And that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm kind of hearing about sustainability, not just of the individual, but sustainability of a business, I suppose much more widely in the community. So I don't quite know who's watching or listening to this podcast, what they know about NLP or other complementary approaches. So I think it would be interesting to get a bit of an insight into how you work with people to help them discover their passion. Can you give us a bit of an insight into how you do that?
Yeah, quite often we are stuck with our conscious mind, but we know from NLP and from other theories as well that there is much more. Our unconscious mind is working so in such an amazing way all the time, and it's driving us. And a very good thing is just, I think that if we all start to have like 2 moments in day, only 2 short moments daily, on daily basis, and those moments are in the morning when you're waking up but you are not fully awake, and the other moment is during the evening when you are almost falling asleep but not yet. You're in very, very relaxed mood, and those moments are the moments when you can affect your unconscious mind. And those moments are precious, like how you are talking to yourself, how you are feeling about yourself, how you are talking about other people. So those are the moments when you can actually change your own identity, to be stronger, to be more, have more courage, or whatever you want, and also to build success. Today is going to be a great day. Today I'm going to succeed. Today I'm going to interact in a very good way with other people. Today I'm going to have good meetings with people, etc., etc. So you need to think what you are thinking, because our thoughts are creating the environment where we are living. And that environment, it's totally different. Each one of us has individual environment where we are living. We think it's the same one, but actually it's not. And we can build and kind of rebuild it every moment.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you're encouraging people, first of all, to be aware, I suppose, of the power of their unconscious mind, and then maybe to be aware of the self-talk, what people are saying to themselves, and where they need to, people changing that self-talk so that what the unconscious mind is processing, what it's hearing, are things that are likely to be building somebody's confidence, building someone's enthusiasm for the day, building, I suppose, their self-esteem, rather than perhaps some of the critical self-talk that human beings can be drawn into.
Yeah. And what kind of beliefs am I feeding on daily basis? Are those beliefs the good ones, driving me to the right direction on my own path, or are those restricting beliefs? And again, like you asked earlier, it's not just about me. It's also about how we're talking to each other, how I'm talking to you, and how I'm making you feel when you are with me. What kind of energy I'm bringing here? How can I help you to be more aware of your potential, your strengths, your capabilities, and how can we kind of make everybody flourishing in the environment?
Yeah. So
Lawrence,
not just,
can I
sorry,
ask a
interrupting
question
you.
from you? Because you have been talking and writing so much about everyday NLP, and these are really core skills of everyday NLP. And what do you find important?
So you're talking, I guess, not just about the individual, but also spreading that out, their awareness of other people, their awareness of impact on other people. I'm curious as well to find out more about this idea about people finding their passion, because I completely get that for just one's own happiness and contentment, the self-talk, how we are thinking and speaking about ourselves and others, makes a huge difference to our experience of life. I suppose we are building our own world, aren't we, by the language that we use. So just taking that on, this idea, in addition to that, and I know this maybe is part and parcel of it, of finding your passion, how do you get people to find their passion, discover their passion?
By pausing, by stopping, and sometimes just being quiet. And also what I love people to do is kind of writing different kind of diaries, like what makes me feel good, what is energizing me, what is like putting my mood low, and what is happening there. Just being a bit more aware of these things. And a good exercise to do, for example, if I'm coaching, you're very aware of neurological levels, is actually to use that tool. Okay. So kind of pausing with them and helping them to understand what is the environment where you're working. Okay, what is the behavior? What are you actually doing when you're doing what you're doing? What skills, capabilities do you have? And then go to those beliefs. What are your core values? What is driving you? And identity. Who am I? Why I am here? And just asking these questions, it's a huge difference. And what is my purpose? Why am I on this planet Earth? What is my real purpose? Yeah. Asking questions and kind of saying to people that, can you ask these questions, go through these steps, kind of not maybe daily basis, but on weekly basis, just kind of to see a bit bigger picture. What is happening? What is possible? What is driving me? What I want to do?
Yeah, it strikes me when you refer to the neurological levels model there, and often when I'm speaking to people about that and we talk about, well, what's your purpose? It is often a question and people kind of look at me as if to say, well, I don't know, I need to have time to think about that. And I think that just underlines what you're saying, is that sometimes we get so busy doing things that we can lose touch with, well, what is our purpose? What is it all for? And I really like that idea of people maybe coming to that gradually by writing things down, by noticing things, and not expecting to have the answer just like that, but maybe creating a space where that can emerge and people can realize what their purpose is. So So let me ask you, which might be a slightly unfair question, because how long is it since you set up your business?
11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, I think quite rightly, that this is a big part of your purpose.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to realize what your purpose was?
I think I have been going towards that, but the path has not been like this. It has been like this and this and this and this. So it took years and years. And when I had bits and pieces, but how to put those together,
Yeah.
kind of have a good combination with your customers and with your clients and in your whole life actually. And I think that I'm still not there yet, because I think we are never going to be there, and that's just something we need to accept. This is a lifelong journey. What a huge ride, really. And we just need to enjoy that, and kind of, it's okay that it's not always easy, and it's also okay that you take a wrong direction sometimes.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that we are never here alone. We're never here alone.
Yeah.
We sometimes see our path and it's very clear and sun is shining and we see it that is here. But sometimes it's very foggy and rainy, and I maybe don't have even courage to take the next steps. And I need somebody like you, Florence, to hold my hand and help me. And I think that's the beauty of life and community and networks, because we are not alone. We are not walking alone. And my privilege in this life has been, and still is, that I have always been able to work and to live with people who are wiser than me. And they are challenging me in positive way, and also uplifting me. And I think these are the most important things in life, actually. How can we uplift each other, walk with each other, hold hand in hand, and be together, be connected, have a good interaction? And I think that the rest will come in life and in work.
Yeah, it's just lovely listening to you, because you were talking about your own path and the twists and turns that took. And two things occurred to me whilst you were speaking, is that first of all, your work now seems to be about making it easier for people to access their own path, and basing that to a large degree on your own experiences of finding that. But as well as that, it strikes me listening to you that purpose isn't necessarily a destination. It's as much about the journey towards what is giving you happiness and satisfaction in life. And that may well shift and change because things happen to us. Obviously, when you became a mother, that changes the direction that your path is and the things that give you happiness, and indeed any other life change or starting your business or all of the things that happen might well put other twists and turns into someone's life path. But it seems to me that it's much more about being on the path than it is about, oh, I've got to the destination.
Yeah, and it's good that we have some kind of goals and kind of direction where I'm going. But if we are just looking at that direction all the time, then we forget this moment. And this is the moment when we are living. This is the most precious moment we can have. If I'm living in the future all the time, I lost this moment. I kind of lost life and I lost my energy. So how to have both? Being in this moment in a very lovely, lively way, and sometimes look there and see and kind of clarify the next steps, whatever those steps are.
Yeah, it sort of kind of says to me, well, kind of enjoy the journey and not thinking, well, it'll be great when I get there, but enjoying the process and enjoying the moment. Uh, I have a plaque up in my kitchen, which I'm sure some people have probably heard this before, is that happiness is not a destination, it's a way of life. And that seems to echo that bit of enjoy the moment. As I'm enjoying this moment talking to you again, actually.
Yeah, me too, so much. And I think that the purpose of life is love. It's about loving yourself and bringing love to every time you meet people or animal or whatsoever. Kind of bringing love and spreading it everywhere. It's I think it's pretty easy actually. It's easy to say, but it's not easy to live. Always according to that. So
Yeah.
Florence, can I ask you about your path? Because I'm pretty sure that you have found your passion. You're so passionate about what you're doing. And when you're talking about what you're doing, you start to shine every time. Oh,
Well, yeah, I think probably my path is somewhat reflective of yours. And in my working life before I set up my business, I think that path did take a lot of twists and turns. Some of those felt like dead ends when I was there. And yet when I was just talking to someone the other day, I thought, would I go back and change anything? No, because the things that I've done along the way, personally and professionally, have taught me something, and that's been valuable for the journey. It's 19 years now since I set up my business, and that's been a continuation of the journey there, and that has developed. And yes, it does make me passionate, because what a privilege to, on the one hand, to work with the clients that I work with. And I often say, you give people this much in a coaching or in a training course, and to see them do this much with it is a huge satisfaction. And as I go through and I see in social media people that have trained with me, and that they have taken whatever they've done with me, and indeed from other places, and they have developed that into a successful business. And I feel a huge pride for them that what they've done. And actually, in a rather odd way, this current pandemic has almost put the reset button. And I said to somebody recently, this feels in business terms, in some respects, like starting over. And that maybe I would have thought at one time that would have been quite a dispiriting thing to have to do that. But actually, I found it quite stimulating. And yeah, and it is about, as you say, it's about kind of enjoying that moment. And it's also recognizing that that path does have twists and turns, and it is about staying on the path. And I totally agree. It's about enjoying the moment.
yeah.
And because we don't know what's ahead. You and I was September of 2019, about 4 months before the pandemic hit. And I had the opportunity to meet you and other fabulous people, and to really, really enjoy that time. And I think that in its own way is a reinforcement of that point that you make. It's not about, well, what am I going to do in 6 months' time or a year's time? It's enjoying the place and the people that you are working with in that moment, and relishing that moment. Because I think when you do that, and again, I'm echoing your words, you enrich your own life, but you enrich the life of other people around you when you are living in the moment and enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
If anything,
Yeah,
the last couple of years has taught us is that we have no idea what's coming next.
No, we don't. Really fantastic and very touching words, Florence. Thank you for those. It's really, really, really valuable. And like you said, that when we feel that here is a dead end, maybe it has a purpose. We just don't know it yet.
Yes.
Some kind of learning, but maybe after 10 years we will need it or use it somehow. So I think that somehow every step, even the painful ones, they have some kind of purpose.
Yeah. And I think that's a very hopeful and useful way to leave that thought in people's minds, because it's very easy to look at the reversals or the things that go wrong in life personally or professionally and to feel hurt or wounded by them, and rather than thinking, well, okay, what am I learning from it and what difference will that make to me going forward? And I suppose that just takes us back again to your idea of what is the self-talk? How do we talk about the things that don't go maybe as we thought they might?
Yeah.
So Anniina, thank you. I've really enjoyed reconnecting with you. If people would like to find out more about what you do, how can they contact you?
You can find me on LinkedIn, or you can also find my web pages, and I would love to continue this discussion.
Well, just for those that are watching or listening, the paragraph that goes with this YouTube video or with the audio will have Anniina's website in there. And of course, if you have any difficulty contacting Anniina, then you can just get in contact with me directly, and I'll put you in touch. As you can see, or as you can hear, Anniina is very fluent in English as well as Finnish. And what other languages do you speak?
At the moment, a little bit French, but I can't actually use it very much. But I need to activate it one day. That will come. Like many other things. So only Finnish and English at the moment.
Okay, well, for most people listening, just that word only seems a little kind of redundant. So anyway, once again, my thanks to Anniina. And next week, join me for episode 6. And who knows in the world where I will be then. So thank you for watching or listening. You can find out more about my business on www.florencemadden.co.uk. So, as I say, I hope you'll join me again next week, and thank you right now to Anniina. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you, Florence. I will join you definitely next week.